Welcome everyone in our Truck Night in America live here from Gateway Motorsports Park. Race 13 out of 20 on the season. The Riders and 200 folks. After a very electric race at Talladega last weekend where we saw a lot of lead changes, ultimately the pole winner Avery Alford goes from damn near last of his group to first to win the race. And I mean, it was a crazy race. We saw pit strategy play a huge key. But like I said, Avery Alford in the final couple laps, it looked like he had no chance, but he was able to cycle his way through, get that win in front of a lot of Avery Alford fans there in Alabama, cited as one of his home tracks. I mean, overall, I mean, just a very flawless race from Talladega. No wrecks, which is very surprising. So we'll see if that comes over to this weekend here at Gateway. We did see about one or two cautions last season, um, where Sergio Vittoria won that race. Peter Anjak got into Nathan Stapleton, the pole sitter, early on, and that caused a caution in the first few laps. We'll see if that happens here today, but to get into the weather coming into tonight and the track overview, going to be 60 laps here. The pit window will be around lap 30 to 35, so we'll see when those guys come in and how long they want to stretch it, because you do want to make that run to the end as short as you can. And some teams are going to try to do that, while some teams are going to try to get the undercut and make up spots early on and just have to deal with the tire wear at the end of the race. So it'll be overall something interesting to see. In-season tournament-wise, we have two fun battles this week. It's going to be Aaron Abel versus his teammate Avery Alford, and then we see Alexander Rowe versus Caleb Rose. So those two matchups are going to be very fun. And we got two teammates going at it. Then we got two drivers that you maybe not would have expected to make it this far. But it's going to be a very, very good one here from Gateway, folks. Um, I'm excited, being the race being postponed, an torrential downpour all last night, but we are finally ready to go here for a little bit of an earlier start time, but it still should be a great one, folks. So with no further ado, folks, I think that's all. Let's head down trackside and go over all the things we need to know how to get to this race. So as I welcome you guys welcome you guys down trackside here at Gateway International Raceway. You can see that's going to be an 83 Ronnie Hauger on the pole with his teammate right behind them. And then you got a bunch of guys vying for those final two spots in this in-season tournament right behind them. Avery Alford, Aaron Abel, Alexander Rowe, Caleb Rose, all in their blanket here. So those guys are going to be fighting very hard, especially here if they weren't fighting hard enough. Only 5 more races till the chase. But before we even get into the stage tonight, we got to take a look at we got to just do a complete week roundup. There's a lot of news coming out of this week. We have about 3 new full-time drivers, and we'll start off at the top here. Team Shamrock, owned by Patrick Nolan, the driver of the 84, opens up, and they're going to be having Max Davis run full-time for the rest of the season with them. Next, Lego McLaren has now been under new leadership. Sergio Vittoria has completely left the team, and he'll be now just moving to driving for LWH Racing, and he's gonna be racing there for LWH Racing. Nick Mahold is gonna be the new team principal. And we'll see how it plays out. Mahold wasn't even aware at first that he was even going to be the team leader of the team. So hopefully Mahold does well in the leadership role. And then next, Trident Racing Engineering opened up a second truck there for the 62 of Luke Evans, so he'll be beside his buddy Caden Arcadia there. So those two will race for Trident Racing Engineering. And then, as well, we had Spears Raven Racing open up a third truck that will be piloted by Terry Bull, who got a top 10 in his first start last week at Alabama. So those are some moves. I think that's pretty much all the moves that happened this week. It was kind of a lot, but not a lot at the same time. But lots of new drivers in the field. Oh, and Benny Watson as well. I almost forgot Benny Watson. Benny Watson moves into a full-time seat for that number 74 of Silly Thing Racing with Sarah Taylor and Hallie Anderson Jr. The 74 will rebrand to the 75 next week at Charlotte, and that will be still piloted by Benny Watson after Marcus Shields Kelly left the team after Pikes Peak. They did not enter last week, but they are back this week, so it'll be a very interesting one to see how it all ultimately plays out. But that is the roundup for this week, folks. As we get into your standings coming into tonight, like I said before, Avery Alford has taken the points lead over his teammate Angel Gutierrez, and this points lead is getting very tight here, folks. This points battle is getting very tight here, folks. Alfred jumps all the way up from third to first, so he has like 480 now. After that win at Talladega last week, and he might try to look to get another win on the season. Alfred already's got 3 wins, and he might just do 4 because he's won almost every short track so far this season besides Pikes Peak. And then next, of course, we have Angel Gutierrez. Aaron Abel falls down to third, but he is right there in the thick of it with his teammates. Ricky LaFleur is still there holding on fourth through about 6th, so LaFleur, Hubert, and Rose all are sticking in pretty well. There's just things about they're still trying to catch up, but these guys are all in a good distance here away from the cutoff line, and they're not quite in the danger zone, I would say. And then you can see Alexander Rowe moves up to 7th along with the 83 Ronnie Hauger. Carson Miller drops all the way down to 9th after a rough showing at Talladega last week. Finished 33rd while Rowe and Hauger finished 8th and 11th. So those two move up. Hauger, of course, had a top 10 streak for the longest time. Unfortunately, it comes to an end after that one at Talladega. But moving on, Chris Martins jumps all the way up to 11th, so he'll now be in the chase as of right now. Him and Bo Racing have been working very hard, and once again they start pretty well here tonight. I believe starting just outside the top 10 and 12th, so he's starting pretty well here tonight. So he's gonna be somebody to watch to keep up with that momentum. Patrick Graven drops all the way down to the final transfer spot in 12th, and he is only about 15 points. Over the 11 points over the cutoff line, where he's got Rago Dorn sniffing right behind him, and Dorn qualified pretty well too. So lots of guys under blanket are all fighting. There's so many good drivers so far this season, but only 12 can make it. James Daniel drops all the way down from the cutoff line to 14th, but he starts just inside the top 15 here, top 12 here tonight. And then moving on, Joseph Wood jumps up to 15th. Carl Young drops down to 16th. And then Brandon Haynes all the way up to 17th. You can't see him on the screen, but he's moved up. And overall, lots of guys starting to find their stride here as we get later into the season. So we might see even tighter battle heading into Indianapolis, the regular season finale, where all the marbles will be on the line. I mean, we saw an insane season finale at Indianapolis last season, where we saw Brandon Haynes on a final overtime restart pass about 6 guys to get into the chase. It was just all hectic, so that's gonna be something fun to watch out. But yeah, that is your standings coming into tonight, folks. And not to hold up too much time anymore, because we hold up a little too much time. But yeah, that's pretty much it from the standings here. Lots of guys still moving up. Some stuff to kind of run down going into this race. That 83 is still looking very fast. So is that 82. LaFleur, of course, won at Pikes Peak. But this is a speedway. I don't know why I mentioned when I was mentioning Alfred, I call this short track. This is a speedway, so we'll see who gets the win here. Chevy has not gotten a win yet, but Brandon Haynes is their highest qualifier. He's going to look to finally get that feat over with for them. But he's got a long way to go. But there's a lot of good drivers here in this top 10. Notably, the 27 Matthew Hubert was the guy that was fastest in the first qualifying lap, but not quite on the second. So he's still going to be somebody to watch out for. Was so close last week. I mean, so close at Pikes Peak and was really solid at Talladega. And Patrick Nolan up here as well. He's running pretty solid. We got 3 Red Bull Fallout trucks up here, 3 Racing Motorsports lined up on the outside. So lots of solid guys here in this top 15. It's going to just overall be a fun one here at Gateway. But I think with no further ado, folks, let's get these trucks fired off and rolling. And we'll go over my pick to win and your starting top 10 here and the rest of the grid.
Start your engines.
So the trucks are fired up and ready to go here tonight, or this afternoon here at Gateway Motorsports Park. You see them roll off here to be Ronnie Hauger in row 1 alongside the 43 of Angel Gutierrez. Row 2 will be the 82 of Ricky LaFleur and the 42 Avery Alford, last week's winner. Row 3 will be Alexander Rowe and the 41 of Aaron Amble. Rowe starting right in front of his guy who's battling here in the in-season tournament for the final round next week. It's Caleb Rose in row 4 alongside the 84 Patrick Nolan. And then row 5, and rounding out your top 10 is the 27 Matthew Hubert and the 99 of Alexander Rowe of Rago Dorn. So a very interesting qualifying session on Thursday. We're finally here racing on Saturday, folks. So my pick to win here tonight, I am going to go with that number 98 of Caleb Rose. I think NS Racing is due for a win. They haven't won since Atlanta, and I think Rose is going to finally get back on the win tally for that NS Racing team. It should be a fun one here at Gateway. Lots of talented drivers in the field. This one was a pretty electric one last year, and we'll see how it goes this time around. And yeah. So as they make their way through turns 3 and 4, folks, it's going to be 60 laps of action here for the Verizon 200. Ronnie Hauger leading them down the front stretch here with Angel Gutierrez on his outside. These two have seen each other a lot this season. Will we see another great battle between those two? But as they make their way through in front of this sold-out crowd here this afternoon at Gateway Motorsports Park, the green flag is underway for the Verizon 200. And as they make their way through, what an electric lap. Number 1, the 82 Ricky Lafleur moves into the lead right in front of his teammate, that 83 Ronnie Hauger, and the 7 of Alexander Rowe. So Rowe now trying to catch up to his driver. That number 82 Lafleur has won a lot of races this season. Looking to get another one on Talladega. It's 3 wide back here between Sarah Taylor, that 92 of Ryan Osborne, and the 38 of Joseph Wood for a second. So Such Street trying to make some moves, but oh my gosh, a lot of guys back here duking it out. Was 3 wide for a second there with Nick Maholt in that number 80. But a very electric start to this race as they make their way through. And it's still going to be that number 82 Ricky Lafleur leading. We saw them nearly go 3 wide in turn number 1, and now he's going to have that 7 of Alexander Rowe right behind him, while James Daniel trying to make his way past this 41 of Aaron Abel for 7th here. Abel been very good so far this season, but now Ronnie Hauger looking to the inside of Alexander Rowe for 2nd. He's going to try to slot his way on through while you got those 2 racing motorsports right behind him. Alford's already got past his teammate who started in 2nd. So Rowe's going to concede that position to the 83, while the 98 of Rose is right on the back end, but now that 81's got some pressure from this 27 and 23, 2 Vision Motorsports trucks, while Brandon Haynes all the way up here. Oh, but Haynes is going to get a little bit of a bumper there from the 97 of Matthew Burnett there. So those guys get a little bit touchy there, and he's going to move into what it looks like to be 11th from Haynes. Haynes, the highest running Chevy, of course. Chevy, we've talked about their struggles so much all season, and they are still struggling once again, but they're look to have some guys drive their way through. As now that 81 of James Daniel did get passed by that 27 of Hubert. It looks like that 23 of Carson Miller might try to do it on the outside here on the front stretch. That 81 of Daniel going to keep his nose in there, of course. New team owner Nick Maholt. And it looks like he's going to try to get the move off, but not quite just yet for this 23 of Miller. But he is ripping it around that outside. So I'll be interested to see how many guys can run different lanes here at Gateway. As they make their way off of turn number 4, it's going to be this 81, kind of a stepping stone here. I wonder if he has some issues under the hood of that truck. Doesn't quite look like it, but he is going to continue. Meanwhile, these guys up here, still single file, all keeping a reasonable distance behind the City Ricky Lafleur, but Lafleur so far this season got to win at Maui. Oh man, he's just been lights out in some of these races so far, and he's going to look to do it once again. Lafleur, of course, attributed to that 3-race win streak that Red Bull Fallout had, but these guys are all catching up behind, while this 22 gonna get past his teammate. Reminder, these two are duking it out for the in-season tournament, so two teammates going at. It's gonna be a fun battle to watch all night between how those two race each other. But the 41's gonna back off a little bit now. But now that 83 of Ronnie Hauger looking to the outside there for 2nd on that 82 Ricky Lafleur. Doesn't quite get anything done now, but we are closing in on 10 laps in here at Gateway. So 10 laps in nearly, and so far been pretty mellow of a race. Guys just kind of finding their own groove, but this 42 of Alford is looking to get past his teammate, that 43 Gutierrez. He just has not quite been able to get the move off just yet. Raul Dorn stuck on that outside, but he will get past that 38 of Joseph Wood. So Dorn, who started 10th here today, gonna have to try to climb his way all the way back up, but He looks like he is back on the move. And that 92 of Ryan Osborne running really, really wide there, but he's going to keep it going. But he's going to have that 17 of Kyler Sestre right behind him, and potentially the teammate of Sestre, that 6 of Raven here soon. Everyone back here running pretty well. You got the 2 Angel Auto trucks here running 24th and 25th. Onjak might try to make the move on Terry Bull here in this number 60. Of course, he's officially the new full-time driver of that ride for Spears Raven Racing. And Onjak, of course, qualified second last season here at this track. Of course, it's been a struggle for him and Chevy so far, but he's hoping to get back on track. But right now, running 24th, not the greatest thing for him, but he'll look to get better as we progress this season. As there goes that 17 to the inside of the 92. So there goes Sestre moving on past Osborne here. As now Wood giving back a challenge to that number 99 of Dorn for a second. Meanwhile, these guys have kind of fallen under a blanket in this top 10. That 83 of Ronnie Hauger still on the back end of that 82, but now this 41 of Aaron Abel looking to make a pass on that number 42 of Avery Alford. So he's going to dunk it to the inside there and look to make a pass. So there goes that 41 of Aaron Abel getting past. No, Avery Alford going to work back on that outside here and try to fight back, but I mean, what electric one it has been so far. But now that 92 of Rowe's trying to give a challenge to this 41. So just overall, everybody's trying to duke it out here in this top 10 and get somewhere. And now to the inside goes Abel. Can he get the move off? No, not quite here, but here comes that 98 of Caleb Rose. Don't look now, but he is trying to get past him while Ronnie Hauger all the way up here to the inside for the lead on this 82 Ricky LaFleur. So there goes our pole sitter. Ronnie Hauger past his teammate here. So he's going to look to get the lead, but does this 82 fight back on the outside? No, he's going to cover him off. So great move there from that 83, but how long can he hold on to this lead? Gonna try and drive away now from his teammate, that 82 of Ricky LaFleur. Meanwhile, back here, the 98 of Rose does move past that 42. Here comes that 23 Carson Miller now looking to the inside. He's got his teammate on the outside, and so does he got that 42 of Alford. Number 97 of Matthew Burnett as well, lingering, trying to come into this top 10. He's got Brandon Haynes, who's kind of towing along with them. So there goes Miller now, looking to complete the move. As Burnett to the inside of that 27 for a second, but it will be Miller at the line, but can he clear this 42 of Alford into turn number 1? And it looks like he will. No, he doesn't cover him off just there. This is going to invite Haynes into the party. As Brandon Haynes might look to make a move here. Might even try to make it 3 wide, it look like potentially. But he's going to be right here on the back end of this 27 of Matthew Hubert as well. Haynes really on the back end of Hubert here. He might try to force a move into turn 1 because he wants to get past both of these trucks and compete with this 23 who finally clears. And oh, Haynes gonna back out of it. Had a shot, but doesn't quite make the move, and now gonna lose a little bit of ground there to the guys up ahead. But that 82 now got some company from that number 7, but 36 of Haynes does get past this number 97 of Matthew Burnett. So now he's going to have to put a chase on to that number 27 of Hubert as he now finally breaks into the top 10 for Chevrolet. As now James Daniel to the back of this 97 of Matthew Burnett. Burnett tries to cover him off. Daniel says, I'm not going to take that, buddy. Get out the way. And now these two Ford teammates going to be going at it a little bit. As Ronnie Hauger's starting to drive away from everybody else. As Now Daniel still on the inside of this 81 of Matthew Burnett, but Burnett gonna work around the outside and get right back past him. But Hauger has created a little bit of a gap, about 1 second now to the 7 of Alexander Rowe. Gonna look to create a second this lap to that number 82 of Ricky LaFleur as well. Now Hubert to the inside of Alford. Alford gotta fend them off there, but these two can potentially battle with each other soon. Dorn does finally get past that number 38 of Wood and the 99 and the 40 of Chris Martin. So now Dorn's gonna chase after this 84 Patrick Goland, who's currently running in 12th or 13th. Meanwhile, back behind here, all these guys still running pretty solid. Onjack's made up some time as the 62 of Luke Evans gives a little bit of a bumper to that 30 of William Ayers. Evans making a debut for Trident Racing Engineering and kind of forcing the issue there for a second, look like on this number 30. So he's going to try to get back past him. He's got Vittoria right behind him. That's 64 of Castle. That's got some juice trying to get past this 45 of Sarah Taylor, who qualified in the top 20, but it's all the way down here, and I would say 22nd, yeah. But now that 64 is going to have Onjack on his outside potentially. And there goes Peter Onjack now, trying to get something going, but that outside not the preferred line for a lot of trucks here. Haynes now might get a look at this 27 Hubert depending on the run he gets off the corner, but he's been moving up quite a few spots so far in this race. And looking very fast for his own team. He's qualified all the way down to 15th, already up about 10 spots. Meanwhile, up ahead, Angel Gutierrez, right in front of this 43, this 98 of Caleb Rose. As now we kind of see a potential fall off happening here soon, I would say. As now this 82 and 7 look like they get so close to each other, then fall off. But these guys have gotten within a second once again of this 83 of Ronnie Hauger. So as soon as that tire fall off happens, we will see a few guys come into the picture, and the tires are pretty strong here. If somebody does undercut, they will have an advantage, but the overcut's going to probably be the move here if you're some of these drivers, because you want to have those fresh tires to the end, or you want to have the freshest tires, I should say. So everything's kind of settled down here between everybody, I don't think we're going to see lap traffic for a little bit, but we'll see how it transpires out. Might see Monica Pato here pretty soon, but has that Ada Max Davis making his debut between Shamrock and Patrick Nolan in front of her. And a bunch of LWH Racing, but that's kind of a process there for Lexi Herman to rebuild that team. Meanwhile, everybody else still chilling back there. Meanwhile, the 6 trying to get past this number 33 of Carl Young. Meanwhile, the 17 does get past Wood for a second. Wood, though, going to work back on that outside potentially here. And that Sparko machine, or he might just stand back in a little bit. And that 6 might try to get a 2 for 1 going into turn number 1, following his teammate Kyler Suss straight through. So there goes the 6 of Raven. It's going to be 3 wide for a second here. Yes, it will be 3 wide between these guys. The 33 of Carl Young working through the middle. The 38 of Wood on the outside. Raven on the inside. As they go back into turns 3 and 4, Carl Young going to work through the middle, and he's going to clear the 6 of Raven. No, Raven to stick his nose back into the inside. Young almost got the move off. Doesn't work there now. That 38 kind of looking for a switchback, but even in the midst of all this, that 60 of Terry Bull here also trying to follow his teammates that 6 and 17 through. So Sears Raven nearly contact between Raven and that 38 of Wood, but here comes Bull as well. So now Bull following that 17 of Sustray as well as the 6 of Raven. And now he's going to be stuck on the back of his teammate here. Oh no, this could spell trouble. That is a tricky spot there, as Raven has just not got the downforce on that truck. backing in and out of the throttle there in the middle of the turn. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that truck, but Carl Young's going to now drive away from these guys. And now he's going to potentially, the 6 Raven now. Oh, the 60 of Terry Bull gets caught napping there. As now the 92 of Ryan Osborne going to move on through there in that Orland machine. So he moves on through. Now that 6 of Raven going to have some company here once again. Back up ahead. Still smooth sailing for most guys. This lead has been chopped down quite a bit. Only about 0.3 tenths behind is that number 82 Ricky LaFleur. Maybe potentially as this tire fall off begins, as we start to reach lap number 30. Going to try to take advantage here. We know LaFleur is great at saving his tire and equipment, so we'll see if it works out again. Nothing quite comes out of it just yet. The 43 Gutierrez is going to get past that 41 of Aaron Abel out of turn 1 and 2. So there goes Gutierrez now. A little bit aggressive here. Going to try to maybe cut down the gap to these guys up ahead. Back here, these guys have all settled down. Lots of Fords up here, though. Meanwhile, Raven finally got past that 38. Going to try to chase down that 33 of Young, but Young looks very strong on that outside, as there goes Onjak moving into what will be 22nd past that 45 of Sarah Taylor. And he's going to try to drag along the Seaman 30 of William Ayers, and that 62 of Luke Evans here, as Ayers right on the inside of that 45 of Sarah Taylor. A very uncomfortable spot here inside Gordon Castle that might introduce himself into the picture here. We reach the halfway point in this race. Into turn 1, that's 64 right on the back of that number 30. .33 of Young to the inside, potentially of Sustre here. No, Sustre trying to cover him off, but there goes Young now. Trying to move into, I would say, it would be 15th here, no, 16th. So he's going to try to move into 16th, and he looks like he's doing well as we get later into this long run here that we've started off this race with. So there goes Carl Young now, moving into 16th, past that 17 of Sustre. Back up ahead, these guys are starting to get close to each other. Meanwhile, there goes Rose to the inside of that number 43 Gutierrez. He's going to look to get 2 Racing Motorsports trucks in 1 a lap potentially here, and he might just do it here. So there goes Caleb Rose to the inside, and he will pull it off. He gets 2 in about a lap and a half there, but now Rose starting to heat up here, and as these guys start to get close to each other, Rowe might look to the inside of this number 82 seat. Alexander Rowe right on the back of his own truck, this 82 of Ricky LaFleur, but nothing comes out of it just yet. But that 98 the Rose, man oh man, got 2 Racing Motorsports trucks in a lap and a half. That is not something a lot of guys can say. As now Carson Miller's going to come into the picture here. 97 of Burnett, trying to get into it as well. As now Hubert got past that 42 of Avery Alford. So lots of guys falling off here later in this long run, and that tells me that the tire fall off is starting to occur here. And when will we see that first guy come down to pit road here? And there goes Rowe to the inside of that 82 Ricky LaFleur for second. Oh, Ronnie Hauger. I think he just missed pit road. No, he has a tire down. Oh, no, that is not good for Ronnie Hauger, our race leader. A tire down on that 83 truck. And yeah, he's going to have to take it down there. So the pole sitter, a tire goes down. And does that tell everybody they need to come down now is the question. Nobody going to come down just yet. But that 83 of Ronnie Hauger going to have to bring it down. And here comes Matthew Hubert going for the undercut. This is going to be a very interesting strategy here. It's going to pay off in the short term, but when it comes to the long term, I'm not sure if Hubert's going to be able to hold on, because tires are a huge thing here. But Hubert going to be the only one going for this undercut, I believe. No, here comes 81 of James Daniel. They have a lightning fast pit crew. If there was one team to pull off this undercut, I think it would be this 81 team. So this is going to be something to watch here as we get later into the cycle. And Ronnie Hauger lost a lot of time there coming in due to this tire going down. But how will it pay off for that number 83 team as they bring it all down. As now here comes that 43 of Gutierrez down. He's got that 23 of Carson Miller right behind him. But here comes the first, here comes the second wave of trucks here, kind of sticking to the regular strategy, while that 27 went for the undercut. While the overcut is going to be attempted by number 2 race leaders here. This 82 and 7, which is going to pay off in the long term if we go green flag to the end, because tires are the most important part so far in this race. So here comes this 82 coming down. Does anybody stretch it longer than these guys? Here comes that 83 and 27 coming off of pit road. Oh, contact pit road between the 82 and 11 of Monica, the 8 and 11 of Monica Pato. It is a tight pit road here at Gateway. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Rowe's going to come first out of that first group of trucks. On Jack, this is going to be very tricky because a lot of guys are going to be busy here coming off and on. So this is going to play out very interesting here. But that undercut does not quite work for Hubert. He's going to be out of the cycle here. Ronnie Hauger going to be all the way behind. Right now, Caleb Rose is going to be the guy to watch here, as where it does, these guys come off a pit road here. That's 7 and 82. Where is that 98 of Caleb Rose? Here comes Caleb Rose here. Does it pay off for this number 98 team? Here he comes. This is going to be a great strategy if he can get fired and get past him here. Oh, he's not going to quite get there. Will he get there to the outside of that 82? Rose on a hotter tires. That 82 is going to be on cold tires. And there goes Caleb Rose now into the net lead here. But that 82 Ricky LaFleur is going to have more fresh tires here. And this is going to be something to watch out for. But the 98 of Caleb Rose into the lead. But he's going to have that 82 right behind him. The 41 Aaron Abel's going to cycle out there. Ronnie Hauger does not lose too much time from that tire. But he's going to have that 27 of Matthew Hubert right behind him. 36 and 81 move through, while the 42 and 97 lose a lot of spots here. And this is going to be something to watch till the end, how this all plays out. On Jack all the way up to 20th after the pit stops. He makes up a lot of ground. He might try to get past the 6 of Ravens. So Chevy has some pace here. As there goes the 81 of James Anderson to the inside of that 36 of Brandon Haynes. Back up ahead. They're going to count their first lap traffic. That's 74 of Benny Watson there. So that truck will advance to the 75 next week, but he's going to get past Benny Watson. Next lap traffic will be this 11 of Monica Pato. Lap traffic is the name of the game if you're the leader. Can you get past all the lap traffic and not make a mistake? Rose going to try to make it past the lap traffic best he can. But this 82 Ricky LaFleur, we know he is great when it comes to finishing this race. And so as we get closer to 20 to go, you're going to want to get past all the lap traffic you can and hope it holds up this 82, because this 82, oh, the 9, I believe, has a tire down as well. Oh, and that was close. David Dixon, I believe, has a tire go down. Yes, he does. And here comes Alexander Rowe coming into the party as well. So 9 of Dixon going to make it safely on pit road, but his tire goes down. And this is troubling here. 2 Hoosier tires already down here for some guys. And if you're one of these guys here who are going to be on older tires towards the end of the race, you're a little bit scared because you do not want to fall victim to a tire going down. But now Rose going to get past this 01 of Lexi Herman as well. So now Rose has a truck in between them. He's got to get past this 80 of Nick Mahold as well if he wants to have 2 trucks. So if you're Caleb Rose, you want to put as many trucks as you can between you and this number 7 and 82, as you just do not want to encounter that tire fall off at the end of this race and have those guys right behind you. So that 01 of Herman might cause some issues here, as Rose gonna try. Oh, 01 of Herman gonna fight back on the inside here in that crush machine. Give Ricky LaFleur a little bit of a fight here. Meanwhile, all these guys back here. Here comes David Dixon coming off pit road here. So now 43 Gutierrez and 23 Carson Miller. Miller is starting to make some leeway in this race. Gonna try to get through here. Here comes the 43 of Gutierrez. He looks to the inside of 11 of Pato, while the 83 of Ronnie Hauger still at 7th despite that tire going down, but you hate to see it for that 83 team who had something good going after they got the pass. They got it back from that number 82 of LaFleur, but now the 98 of Rowe's gonna get past Mahold here. So as we get later in this run, it's going to be very interesting to see if this 98 of Caleb Rowe can hold on here. There he goes to the inside of Angel Gutierrez as well. So he's going to get past Vittoria. And now can that 82 over to the point get past Gutierrez as well as they continue to race on through this lap traffic here. And he's got that 7 in a row here too. You know, Rowe might try to want to steal this one as well. As LaFleur really digs deep in the corner, he's gonna get the pass off. Here comes the 7 and 42, 7 and 82 as well. So everybody duking it on out here as Hubert stuck behind that 8, 11, and 9 of Dixon. So everybody trying to follow through here. Aaron Abel, the 23 of Miller. So we got a lot of competitive trucks here tonight who are carving their way through the slab traffic. Can Caleb Rowe hold on here? 41 of Aaron Abel to the inside of that 80 of Nick Mahold. This is going to be a very treacherous final 25, near 25 laps, near 15 laps here soon. But it's going to be a very treacherous last 15 laps. And now, that 82 is lurking behind this 98 of Caleb Rowe. And you got to ask if Caleb Rowe can even hold on to this one. But now he's going to try to get past the 96 of Adrian Gale, but Gale's going to hold them up here. Now Rowe stuck on that outside, but Gale's going to cover off the inside. But Rose is not able to work on the outside. Oh my, that truck has no grip on the outside line, no downforce. It's going to be new leader, the 82 of Ricky LaFleur. Rose was a sitting duck on that outside, just in and out of the throttle, had no downforce whatsoever. And now the 7 in a row is going to get past him as well, which we did expect. So it's going to be very treacherous in these last 15 laps here. But Rose going to be right behind the 7 Alexander Rowe, who might dive into the inside of this 82 of LaFleur. No, he doesn't. Rowe so conservative with his own trucks. I don't know why he just did not shoot the gap and go for the move. We've seen this in so many races over the far of the season. Rowe's just too patient with his competitors. And now that 82 of LaFleur might have his opportunity to drive away there as Alexander Rowe does not go for the pass there on that 82. As now there goes the 01 of Lexi Herman nearly to the inside of that 27 of Hubert for a second. Alford gets past that number 81 of James Daniel to get into what it looks like to be 10th here. Meanwhile, back up ahead, these guys all under a blanket in this top 3. Miller has moved past that 43 Gutierrez into 5th, I believe, sometime here around, but we're getting into these final 15 laps. This one is just getting, oh, so close. Oh my. Oh my, oh, 82 I think has a tire down. Yes, he does, and everybody's being held up here. Aaron Abel's moved into the lead. Rowe just not moving past this 82. What are you doing, Alexander Rowe? Now the 41 of Aaron Abel's in the lead. So the 82's tire goes down. Lots of tires going down here. It's another Red Bull Fallout one. And what are you doing if you're that number 7? So now Aaron Abel into the lead. And he's going to have the 23rd Carson Miller right behind him. But I mean, that is just a boneheaded move by the 98 and 7. But another tire goes down, and you have to be worrisome if you're some of these drivers here. That is 3 Hoosier tires that have gone down here at Gateway, and what has been a crazy race, and 2 for Red Bull Fallout especially. So if you're at 84 of Patrick Nolan, you're clutching your pearls here, hoping your tires last, because clearly for everybody else, oh, Rowe loose off the exit of turn number 2. Trying to dig back deep and get past all the slab traffic to get back up to the 41 of Aaron Abel. Here comes everybody following through. We're going to have a crazy race to the end with 11 to go at the line. Everybody under a blanket in this top 5. We don't usually see this a lot here, folks, But man, oh man, this is going to shape up to be an electric finish. Now trying to get past Victoria is this 98 of Caleb Rose. He's going to have that 23 Carson Miller right in front of him as well, but look at how many top 10 trucks are in here, all the way back to Matthew Hubert here. But here goes, oh, Gutierrez dives to the inside on that 98 of Rose. Trying to get past this 80 with no luck is that 7 of Alexander Rowe. And he's just too conservative. You got to make a move and force the issue here. And there goes Carson Miller doing exactly that. In game time decisions, you got to make the move. So far, 2 times here, we haven't seen the 7, 3 times we haven't seen the 7 in a row do that. But his teammate takes advantage. So now Carson Miller moves on through. Does he get past this 80 of Nick Mahold? As now they all chase down this 41 Aaron Abel with just 9 to go coming here to the line. Carson Miller now to the inside. Yes, he goes. But Mahold is just a roadblock on that outside line. They are all struggling to get past him. It took Aaron Abel a couple laps. These guys, meanwhile, are stuck behind these 2 Chevys who will not move out the way, and they are battling the 96 and 57 of Angel Gutierrez, last year's winner here at the track. Not boding well this time for him. I mean, even Ronnie Hauger could be in the conversation for the win after all. But these guys are just stuck behind the 80 of Nick Mahold, who is just not budging here. So Aaron Abel's going to like this. He's going to continue to drive the way. There goes the 23, forcing the issue to the inside. Here comes the 98 of Caleb Rose as well to the inside of the 7 of Alexander Rowe. But Aaron Abel has just cleared off to distance. They lost the whole second that lap. And this 80 is just a roadblock. If you're the Ram team of Vision Warrior, you're telling that 80 to get out the way. What are you doing? And he is holding up his Ram teammates here. And this has allowed Aaron Abel with just 7 to go at the line to take this win, and he's going to drive away with it potentially here. So unless a miracle happens here, we get a caution. These guys are not going to make it past. I mean, I don't know what the 23 and 7 doing here. They are backing out so much in and out of the throttle. This point in the race, you got to force the issue, man. And they are just not doing that. And this is going to allow the 41 of Aaron Abel to drive right away. In interesting circumstances for sure. But here comes the 98 of Caleb Rose and that 27 of Matthew Hubert. 3 Vision Motorsports trucks in this top 5 here, under a blanket here. But Aaron Abel is about to increase this gap to 4 seconds here. If Carson Miller doesn't give this 80 the bumper and tell him to get out the way. So Caleb does this. Carson Miller finally to the inside potentially. No, he's not going to. I don't think he's. Yes. He finally gets to the inside here, but he backs out of it. You gotta go to the inside. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's just head-scratching moves from some of these guys here this afternoon. So they finally get past him, but is it too late? As we're gonna be coming to 5 to go at the line. What a steal this would be by Aaron Abel. So many crazy circumstances as we got into this race. So many tires going down. Can Carson Miller chase down this 41 of Aaron Abel, or will it be all she wrote from this one here at Gateway? So they finally get past this 80 of Nick Mahold, who's been a roadblock for these Ram trucks. And now the 98 of Caleb Rose gets past him as well. But what a race we've seen so far. These guys are going to probably need a caution if they want to catch up to this 41 here, as we're going to be coming to 4 to go at the line. So 4 to go now, as Miller cut down the gap, and he doesn't look like he's cut it down at all, actually. So 2.2 seconds. Does he have something for him? If he got the 7 in a row, he's going to get right back past him. But I don't even think you can trust Alexander Rowe to make a move in this scenario. He's been so conservative here today and just been not making moves whatsoever. So unless the caution comes out, Aaron Abel, in the craziest circumstances possible, is going to be looking to get his 2nd race win on the season. He won at Daytona, has not reached victory lane since, but has had a lot of pole positions ever since then. Has had about 5. So it's been a long time coming for this number 41 team, as we make our way to 2 to go, unless a caution happens here and that sends us into overtime. it is going to be this 21 Aaron Abel with 2 more to go at the line. And the 83 Ronnie Hauger had to bring it back down again with engine damage, so just unlucky brakes for that number 83 team. So 2 to go now for Aaron Abel. He needs no trouble in these last 2 laps, so hold on here. The tire goes down on the number 82 Ricky LaFleur. The 7 Alexander on the 98 of Caleb Rose, who once were battling for the lead, stay behind the 82. And oh, a huge lunge to the inside of that 55 of Trey Wright. That could have been close there. But here we go, coming to the white flag here for Aaron Abel. 1 more to go here at Gateway. The last thing you want is a tire to go down here for this number 41, but he should be fine. So in the craziest circumstances possible, it is going to be this 41 Aaron Abel going into turns 3 and 4. Looking to get back into victory lane for the 2nd time this season and book his ticket to the 2nd round of the in-season tournament as Aaron Abel through turns 3 and 4. 2 tires go down for Red Bull Fallout Racing, but it's going to be Aaron Abel winning at Gateway. Alexander Rowe will face him in the finale next week in Charlotte of the in-season tournament. And what a crazy race it was, but Aaron Abel gets it done in that 41 to see. Congratulations to Aaron Abel. That one was insane here from Gateway, and I mean, you can't shape up a race even crazier than that. Fortunately, it was delayed 1 day, but I mean, folks, look at that. Oh wait, look at the race we had. Well, at least we got it out because that was electric, and oh man. What could have been for this 98 or 7 if they make the moves when it counts? They maybe could have seen themselves in victory lane, but the 7 and 98 got stuck behind the 82 Ricky LaFleur, whose tire went down. And Red Bull Fallout has almost a forgettable day as 2 tires go down, and that is just not something they want at all. But Aaron Abel brings it home for Racing Motorsports. Racing Motorsports goes back to back. They won at Talladega. They win once again. Meanwhile, the 84 Patrick Nolan's engine goes out right on the cooldown lap. So, I mean, Red Bull Fallout, a nightmare-ish weekend, as now they don't even have an engine on that 84 truck, folks. But with no further ado, folks, as everybody makes their way down to the 82 Ricky LaFleur, we're going to take a look at our race results and what was a crazy one here from Gateway. As we get into your results here, I mean, what a race this was here from Gateway, and a very, very crazy one. Aaron Abel gets the one. Tires go down on both of, I mean, the 83 of Ronnie Hauger didn't even finish the race. Of course, he had that engine issue as well. Ricky LaFleur finishes in 39th. A nightmare night for this Red Bull Fallout team. They don't even have an engine going back. They can even take this 84 truck and bring the setup over for another race because the engine goes out on the cooldown lap. So, a nightmare weekend. 2 tires go down on them. David Dixon's tire goes down. And man, oh man, just a crazy one here from Gateway. And I mean, we saw a lot of action. Aaron Abel, I mean, lucky feat. I mean, I mean, some people, yeah, I mean, rightfully so. People are gonna say it's a lucky win because that 7 and 98 looked like they were gonna be the ones battling for a long time for the win, as they were really closing up on that 83 of Ronnie Hauger. We know why they were closing up because he probably had a tire up, but they get stuck behind the 83 whose tire goes down. The first guys get stuck all night. 82. Was it 82 or 83? 82 of Ricky LaFleur. They got stuck behind him when his tire went down. And, yeah, I just, man, they don't make the move on him. And, yeah, I mean, really head scratching moves from, honestly, Ram as a whole this tonight. We saw them get stuck behind that 80, which kind of effectively took them out from getting to Aaron Abel. And I mean, just not enough aggression from that 7 of Alexander Rowe. I mean, we saw it at I want to say it was yeah, it was at Pikes Peak too. Just wasn't that aggressive. And once again, it kind of bites him again. So Rowe just kind of struggling a little bit. We'll see if he finally gets over that hump and finally gets back in victory lane. But we saw somebody finally do that here tonight as Aaron Abel finally gets back in victory lane since Daytona, where he won that one. But I mean, crazy race. Look back through the order. Of course, it'll be Rowe versus Abel at Charlotte. Rose almost pulls off the upset. Very close finish between those two. But that's also why they were racing so hard with each other because they want to get that $1 million next week in the Queen City 300. But Haynes finishes 8th. Alford gets past him and James Daniel. Uh, Matthew Burnett all the way down 12th. 11th is Roggenhorn. Those two had some pace at some point. Young finishes 13th. He had some pace after it looked like he was going to get triple teamed by the Spears Raven racing trucks, but gets past them. Terry Bull has a solid debut, top 17. Matthews Bento in 20th. Chevy's actually had some pretty solid day. 23rd, 22nd on Jack, and Agers there in 21st and 22nd. And then you got Todd Gordon Castlenut, Emily York Watson, Caden Arcadia here. Then of course not a lot of guys a lap down. This was a very close race here this afternoon. As a lot of guys, you don't quite see a lot of close races, but this was one race. Hopefully this is a good sign to come that we'll see a lot more racing as the field gets tighter, heading closer to the chase. And hopefully, this is a sign to come that we will see some much more tighter racing between these guys as we move further in this series. And, season 2 of the series. But, yeah, that is pretty much all here, folks. You can see your order there. A nightmare night, a nightmare afternoon for Red Bull Fall Racing, folks. But thank you all for tuning in. You know, we had some rain last night, postponed this race, but man, oh man, I mean, you look right there. That was why, uh, we had to wait for let me pause this, but that's why you wanted to wait for this one because this was a great race, folks. Thank you all for tuning in to Truck Night America. We'll see you all next week for the Queen City 300 at Charlotte. Not sure what day it'll be. It'll be probably Saturday or Sunday, but that one will be a fun one. We'll see a lot of racing from Charlotte. The longest race of the season, so a lot of guys are going to be duking it out. Two guys will be duking out for $1 million. I'll be Aaron Abel and Alexander Rowe, folks. But if you enjoyed, don't feel free to subscribe and join the Discord server. Get all the news and stuff you need to know here from in our Truck Night America. But we try Downport signing off. Enjoy the rest of your evening, folks, and get ready for some more action in NR 2003, I believe, tomorrow for the JBL Cup Series, which will be a great one with Nathan Stapleton in the booth. But that is all from us this week, folks. Thank you all for tuning in, and yeah, have a great rest of your evening.